Check mine in.
Your boy SNTV, back at y'all with another Chiraq Street Legends, and this episode is going to be about none other than Tay Savage. Now, Tay comes from that Welch World set, 41st to 44th, St. Lawrence to Drexel, their BDs. I think that one of the most interesting things about Tay Savage is the fact that he was able to hang around a lot of different sets that were beefing. Like, for instance, Tay Savage was close to 600. He was close to 46. He was close to Mubu. He was also close to Melly, which was 051. And Tay Savage was known in the streets as the Michael Jordan of the Rob game. Tay Savage has a reputation of being a jackboy. According to rumors, he once robbed Ball Out and stumped him out for saying fuck Welch. He also, according to rumors, robbed Lil Vernie from 300. According to Mubu Crump, Tay Sav actually used to have THF Bezu and 051 Melly in the same car. So the respect level that you have to have those two enemies, or would turn out to be arch enemies, in the car together says a lot about how much those guys had respect for you. And 051 Melly confirmed on his Twitter account that they actually did used to be together. There was a point in time to where Tay was the only one from Welch World that was doing anything in the streets, and even his ops knew this. He actually had guys make tweets saying that they wanted him free because the war has gotten boring. And I think that one reason why Tay Savage has so much of the respect that he has is because the idea of one man going against a whole gang is iconic. It's like Tay Savage is looked at as a one-man army. And based on the number of things that he has been charged with and some of the charges that he's had, tells me that the CPD also has a radar up when it comes to Tay Savage. Now, we know exactly how dirty the CPD is, and they've actually been known to give away delicate information about certain sets to their ops in order to either get them locked up or get them killed. So the CPD is the last people that you want on your ass, and once these reputations are developed, eventually it circulates enough from the streets into the police station where they begin to hear about people, then they begin to picture people, then they begin to put the pieces to the puzzle together, and they do everything that they could to get you off the streets. So one day, May 15th, 2010 to be exact, a guy that goes by the name of Welch, or Gucci, was walking on East 40th Street and South King Drive, and he ended up getting killed. Now, the newspaper clearly said that another man was injured when it happened, and that the other man was shot in the leg, but they didn't display the name or they didn't display the age of the man. Some people believe that this man that was walking with Welch that was hit was actually Tay Savage, and he wasn't hit in the leg, he was actually hit in the upper torso, and he also almost lost his life. Now, after Welch was killed and the other man injured, it became widely known that Neef and Sess from the Ave, aka the Chiraq Bonnie and Clyde, were the ones that were responsible for doing the hit, with Sess being the getaway driver and Neef being the one that pulled the trigger. So only 9 months later, Sess was killed attending a party on the 2600 block of East 75th Street. As she was getting out of her car, somebody walked up, shot her, and ran off. She was took to the hospital where she was pronounced dead. She was shot in her upper right leg, her upper left leg, her back, her right chest, and twice in her stomach. So 2 months later, Neef was killed in a shooting that happened on the 7400 block of South Vincennes Avenue. He was waiting at a stoplight, and he was waiting on it to turn green, and somebody jumped out of a car, started shooting at him. So Neef started trying to get away, and he put the car in reverse. And when he started reversing, the person started running towards him, shooting. So he ended up hitting the car, crashing. After he crashed, the person kept shooting, making sure that he was dead. Tay Savage ended up being charged with both of these murders after he was already locked up on unrelated charges. Timberlake was already in custody on aggravated vehicular hijacking, armed robbery, and aggravated unlawful restraint charges stemming from an attack in July. According to police, Timberlake and another man robbed 2 men in the Bronzeville neighborhood in July. The 2 men robbed, 21 and 22, were standing outside a 1985 Chevy Monte Carlo in the 600 block of East Bourne Avenue when Timberlake and another man ran through their pockets and fled the scene in the Monte Carlo. So Tay Savage ended up beating not only one case, but both cases because the police had no evidence against him. They had to let him go. So later in that same year, August 2011, Sess's brother Jamal Streeter and her baby daddy, Aramis Beecham, spotted Tay Savage at Metcalf Park. When they spotted Tay Savage, they immediately jumped out the car and started shooting. Now, everybody was able to break and duck for cover except for the basketball players that were vulnerable in the middle of the court. So a young brother by the name of Darius Brown that was 13 years old, and he was actually an aspiring basketball player. He was shot and he was killed. And to this day, there's a beef between a set that goes by the name of BBG and 757 for this situation right here. Tay Savage is currently incarcerated where he has been since 2014 for that carjacking incident. And I just think that since he'll be getting out pretty soon, if he used his street reputation and maybe try to rap, I think that he can possibly be successful. I mean, we see where, you know, King Von has gone, and Tay Sav will actually more than likely have that backup from Dirk. I noticed that Dirk was following his Twitter account, so he's definitely in tune with Dirk. And I know y'all may say, you know, SNTV, you say that that's the solution to everything. No, I just see how he can get out and he can actually be productive to society because all he got to do is pick up a microphone and it'll be just that easy. Then he'll begin to bring in and stream revenue from a different source. And a lot of times, once you're able to make money outside of the streets, it breaks your interest towards the streets. I feel as though when he gets out, a lot of power will be given to him. A lot of responsibility will be placed upon him. A lot of people, a lot of children will be looking up to him. So it's definitely his choice on whether, you know, he want to stay in the streets or he want to pursue something higher than that where he can actually get a bag, get out the streets, and feed his people. We will see. This was the story of Tay Sav. I hope y'all enjoyed it. If you haven't, like, comment, and subscribe. It's your boy, SNTV. I'm out.